Winter blues is a phenomenon where we find ourselves feeling low, less energetic, and lacking enthusiasm for activities that we usually enjoy. It's quite prevalent. Let's explore this condition further, and a warm welcome to Dr. Parry Ahmed. Is this a real thing, winter blues?
Absolutely. So it refers to a change in mood brought on by the change of season. And if you think about it, in winter we have less daylight hours, less sunshine, colder temperatures. So it can make one feel quite miserable and down. And a lot of people actually leave for work in the morning when it's dark. They come home when it's dark. And you can imagine that this impacts our mood and our well-being.
It's called SAD, right? Isn't that the medical term, seasonal affective disorder?
That's correct. So SAD is actually, or seasonal affective disorder is actually a subtype of depression in medicine, and it is more common in females than in males. It's also more common in countries located furthest from the equator.
Okay, so how do we fare in terms of that being in South Africa?
Well, luckily, we still have a good amount of sunlight and daylight. We're not affected as badly.
As the folks in Europe, for example?
Yes, of course.
So how does one know if they are navigating a seasonal condition of SAD or if they're navigating full-blown depression?
Well, the symptoms that one would experience would be a change in mood, feeling hopeless, despair, sad, tearful, a change in energy, feeling fatigued, lethargic and sluggish, and a change in appetite. So often people experience an increased appetite as well as a craving for carbohydrates. And sometimes people tend to sleep more. Mm-hmm. They wake up with difficulty and they go to sleep with difficulty as well.
What advice would you give to someone who is navigating this but doesn't quite know if they're having a mild experience or if they're having a chronic experience of this depression?
So I would recommend going to see your doctor. Firstly, There's several medical conditions that could easily mimic the symptoms of depression. So something like an underactive thyroid, anemia, a vitamin B12 deficiency, a vitamin D deficiency could easily cause changes in our energy levels, our mood, our appetites, etc. And a doctor would then be able to assess you and determine whether this is something that requires treatment with an antidepressant, referral to a psychologist, or just a general reflection on your quality of life and well-being.
That is fascinating how one dis-ease can be masked as another. What are some of your tips in navigating the winter blues?
Okay, so firstly, exercise is...
I see you light up as you say that.
So exercise is crucial. It's hard to exercise in the winter. Sometimes it's cold outside and we're not as motivated, but it's important to make it a habit. Find an indoor space, an indoor swimming pool, a gym, get together with friends, do a yoga session, put in some music and dance. Have a good balanced diet. So make sure you're getting enough vitamin D because a deficiency in vitamin D can also predispose you to depression. Then also getting enough sleep, but having a routine, making sure that you put an alarm clock on in the morning so that you don't sleep too much, and having a routine when you go to sleep in the evenings to help you to fall asleep early. And then also volunteer. Volunteer at a charity, a religious community, or an animal shelter. And also laugh. Watch some comedy. Remember, laughter's the best medicine.
Yes. If you were to give a pill of wisdom in getting yourself out of that hole into some light, excuse the pun, what would you suggest one does? Because it's a struggle, clearly, if you're not feeling optimized at that moment to motivate yourself to exercise, to move better, to eat better. How would you deal with a client that was navigating that?
So firstly, I'd say realize that you're not alone. That's the most important thing.
I love that, because we are more alike than we are different.
Yeah, and sometimes you can go onto social media, you can see everyone living their best life, and you can easily think that you're the only person going through this experience. Secondly, it's important to take it one day at a time. You cannot put yourself under too much pressure. take it one day at a time, and give yourself small goals and small tasks to complete. And achieving those things will give you a sense of accomplishment, and that will get the ball rolling.
Thank you so much. That was so insightful. When we return, we are making a scrumptious salmon and a citrus dish that is packed with vitamin D and C. We would like to know, do you notice your mood dipping during the winter months? And if so, what are your tips to combat those winter blues? Remember to use the hashtag Afternoon Express.